So in a community like this, and I know you've likely heard us say this over the last few days, everybody has a connection to this school or a connection to someone who is connected to the school. And last hour, I spoke to Courtney Abramovich and her father, Sean. Courtney's a student at Tumbler Ridge Secondary. Now, she had left the building shortly before the shooting began on Tuesday.
I need closure. Courtney needs closure. It's just a terrible, terrible event that has. I was notified, and I think Courtney needs closure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel about it? I think you feel it's important to speak up.
Yeah, I think it is very important to speak up, as it was very traumatic what happened. It was very hard on the families, it was very hard on friends, and yeah, it was very tragic.
You had the last period of class off that day, right?
I didn't go to my last period of class, and I left school at about around 1:30, and I just missed it.
Yeah. How did you find out what happened?
I got Amber Alerts on my cell phone, and they were Amber Alerts, and I have friends at that school, and yeah.
The moment that we got the news of how many people had died was shocking. I was sitting in a radio studio in Vancouver. Shocking for me. What was your reaction?
My reaction was, when I heard the helicopters, when I heard the sirens, when I heard an active shooter, my personal gut feeling was, hey, this is not good.
And what about when you actually heard how many kids had died in that school?
It was very hard, and especially we live in such a small town that a lot of those kids I was very close with. A lot of those kids were, I knew them personally. I mean, we go to a school with 170 kids. You know every face, of those kids.
It's just been over 48 hours.
Yeah.
How are you coping?
I'm doing pretty good. I have a lot of family support and a lot of friends that are supportive. I think that I was very fortunate. I had it very easy compared to a lot of families that are going through this.
Yeah, and what about your friends that you've talked to? How are they doing?
They're doing okay. My one friend, she's currently fighting for her life in Victoria, Maya Gabala, and I have hope that she's going to pull through. And she's a strong little girl, and she's one of my best friends, and I really do think that she's going to pull through, and I know she's going to because she's a strong girl.
Lots of prayers. We've been praying lots.
Yeah.
I can see the look of pain though in your faces and tears in your eyes.
It's just like an empty heart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Like it was a half hour. I only got one little girl. And it was a half hour. She dodged a bullet, right? Like it's just so traumatic for me, not losing a daughter, but more so for the people that have lost. Mm-hmm. And I know all the parents, majority of the parents, children, through work.
When are you going to be ready to go back in there?
I was talking to some of my friends, and I was very skeptical about going back into the school, and I don't feel like I'm ready to go back into school, but the thing is that we have to go back into that school because there's children that have lost their life that they can't, that they need someone to say, we're gonna be strong and we're gonna go back.
A lot of us who are parents, though my kids graduated from school a long time ago, but we've been thinking about, when you drop your kids off at school and you hope for the best, and at worst maybe they'll have a bad day with a test or something, but you at least assume they're going to be safe. What's it going to be like for you the next time you drop Courtney off at school?
For me, it's not going to be a very good feeling, but personally what I would like to see is we don't need security guards. I would like to see something done with the doors. It's not a free-for-all. I mean, those are our angels, and we got to get some kind of swipe cards. We got to get some kind of facial recognition. We got to get some way that some individual does not have the opportunity to hurt our defenseless children.
And Courtney, last word to you. What would you like to say about anything?
I'm just really hoping that all the families are going to heal. Tumbler's a really strong town and we're all family, so I really think we're going to heal, but I'm really praying for Maya Gabal and all the other kids and children and adults and everyone that was hurt. I'm really praying, but I'm really praying that Maya's going to pull through, and I really do believe that she will.
Courtney, Sean, thank you so much for speaking to us.
May I say one more thing?
Sure.
I would like to thank Canoe McColl, Brian Marshall, Brian Sullivan, multi-billion-dollar company for muting operations on something like this.
This is the mine.
This is the mine itself, yes. This was very, very, very honorable for them to do what they have done.
Yeah.
And another thing I'd like to say is we're all grieving, right? But the mom that died, she was an auntie, she was a sister, she was a mom. Please do not take it out on the family.
This is of the shooter, yeah.
This is of the shooter.
Yeah.
This is just a bad tragedy, but please, just hearing things that just don't take it out on the family, because they were not involved.
Okay. Thanks to both of you for speaking to me.
Okay, thank you, Ian.